Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Maverick, and as you probably should have known if you watched episode 1, this is going to be a direct continuation viewing, so I'm just gonna skip the recap, and let's just go into Steinsgate episode together right now. So, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Alright. They're gonna freak out like, how are you alive? You probably shouldn't do so. Oh, okay. Ah. The theme song. Hacking to the gate. Alright, I'm gonna mute the music since I don't want to get copyright struck. But I will look at the opening for once. Even though I've never, I haven't seen this anime yet, I know of this song. Since it's pretty famous. Beyond the world lines. Huh. Beyond the world lines. So like I was saying last episode, this is probably one of those time travel situations where there are multiple timelines or multiple worlds. Alright, and we're back. Time travel paranoia. This time travel. Okay. Yeah. Alright. That's a nice reference. Okay. So are we actually gonna see the debate? I guess you lost. Coins. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How did you turn out this way? Like, what is your past? Oh? More characters? Oh. Kangaroo? Mm-hmm. Oh. This girl's smitten by you. Okay, this guy is hopeless. Really? Like I said, Chunibyo. What? What? Is this another one of his delusions? Or is he actually a guy? You know, with this guy, I really don't know. Oh man, I was just thinking. Dang it! A trap here? I think it might be true. I think it might be true. You're gonna go. And what work do you do? By the way, something entirely unrealistic is how there's so little people on the streets of Akihabara. Okay, yet another character? This dude. Oh. Okay. Nothing. Mm. Okay, time traveler. I guess that's a reference to CERN. The organization doing experiments, atomic experiments in Europe. Okay. Yeah, parallel worlds. Multiverse. Here we go! So since he's talking about divergence only after the time travel occurred, it's probably more akin to the Back to the Future kind of time travel. Okay. I did Google about this John Titor dude, a bit. So apparently this is referencing a real life event on. So I guess this is also someone experiencing the divergent memories. What the hell? Hmm? Yeah, since this is in 2011, Japanese are probably still using the original text message system of email. Uh, as I was saying, oh, yeah, another. What's with all these characters within this one episode? I don't even know what to think about right now. Oh my god. Hmm? An IBM. Alright. As I was saying, I did Google about this John Titor dude. So he was apparently a sort of, you know, self-claimed time traveler back in the 2000s and whatnot. That's actually referencing a real life event. Yeah, with all the emojis and stuff. Uh, Electromagnetic wave. This dude. Why are these people hanging out with each other? It's gone? What? Emergency 666. What? 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 What in the world is going on? Okay. This is... Huh. I have no idea what to think right now. Alright, so I watched 2 episodes in a row, and so far I still have a hard time grasping what exactly this anime is trying to convey, the central plot or theme, or the main, I guess, conflict that it's trying to resolve. But at the very least, we do have some information in regards to the mechanics, if you will, of one of the main plot devices of this anime, and that is time travel. So before we get into anything else, let's discuss John Titor and as well as some of the various other references from within this episode, right? So first of all, even before that, let's talk about the concept of time travel as is explained here. So remember last episode when I was talking about the different kinds of time travel, you know, you have the basically we call it, how should I call it? The linear one, you know, where there's, or the most simple one where there's only one timeline in effect. And so, you know, whenever you're moving along, you're just moving along this one single timeline, right? Now, of course, this actually creates a lot of paradoxical problems, which is why a lot of times it's rejected, because it's too easy to think of a paradoxical situation in which this whole thing falls apart, right? And then we also have the type where, like I said, it's more similar to Back to the Future, where you can create a different timeline. If you go back in time, you can alter events, but it has the effect of creating, at that very point, a completely different timeline from what your time actually is. So even if you travel back to the future, you're not going to travel into your original future, but into instead the modified future that diverges from your original one, right? So just think of it as like one line and then diverging into 2 lines, like a Y. And then we also have the concept of putting time travel together with the multiverse theory, right? Or, you know, as I said, there's lots of different kinds of theories in regards to this, but one commonly used one is combining the concept of multiple world interpretation of quantum theory, which states that there's basically infinite universes in this world, and they each have their own, you know, think of every single possibility of every single point of time, so that you have infinite amounts of possibilities and infinite amounts of timeline. There exists a universe, there exists a timeline of every conceivable thing you can think about. At least that's the most simplified version of it, right? And then when you time travel, you're actually moving between all these kinds of different worlds, these different universes. Although actually that has also been debated among physicists as well. Like, if hypothetically the multi-world interpretation does ring true, and if theoretically there could be time travel, does it actually work that way, or does it just work on a single timeline and whatnot? But that's for another story, right? Let's keep things simple. So according to this anime right here, from what this John Titor character was talking about within the anime, it seems that it follows more of the Back to the Future type of theory, where, going back into a certain point in time, it creates a different timeline based on this event, and so so it just diverges from there, right? Now, however, there's some problem with that, with using that kind of theory in regards to this anime, as we can already see right here. But let me talk about that a little bit later. And this in itself is already different from the original John Titor that appeared in the 2000s in real life, which actually did use the quantum mechanic multi-universe interpretation as part of his time travel theory. So that is something that is, I guess, or maybe it could just be that I'm interpreting the situation here the way that the anime explains it wrong, and it's actually using the same thing, but, that's just one thing I noticed that is a little bit different, right? And another reference to this entire John Titor time travel, I guess, urban myth, I guess you could say, is that, or hoax or something, is the computer, right? Now here it's called what? The IBM 5100, 5100. In the actual John Titor, story as well, he actually came back in time in order to acquire an IBM 5100 computer, which apparently is needed to do some coding or whatnot. So this is a real life computer that is mentioned, which actually leads me to think whether or not that girl that Rintaro met on the street is actually the anonymous person posting as John Titor on the forums, right? I guess that is a possibility. And in that sense, this anime is still referencing the original story of John Titor. Alright, so that is that part. Let me see. So beyond that, like I mentioned before, I do believe that the current world as it is, the type of time travel that it's using is more similar to the the multiverse theory that I was talking about. And the reason for this is because we already see a discrepancy between how Rintaro remembers events, right? As it is, this current world that Rintaro is in is a different world than what he originally came from, right? Because a lot of the events of the past actually have not happened yet. So in essence, you can consider it an entirely different world, right? And is that because you have to diverge from one point, right? And considering the fact that this Rintaro did not travel back any further into time, but still has a different memory of past events than what is actually portrayed here, my thinking is that this condition can only be met if this world had already existed before him, before he made this type of world crossing or world leaping travel, if you will. At this point, can you actually call it time travel, or is it, as they say, more like world leaping parallel worlds, going through different world lines, if you will? So that's why for me, I believe that the concept or the foundation of this anime's time travel theory is based on the multi-world interpretation of quantum mechanics, where infinite universes already exist, and so our main character Rintaro is simply traveling between all these different universes. At least that's how I interpret the situation as it is right now. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on time travel, but as far as I can understand it, that seems to be the case, based on observation. So yeah, so that's what I have right now in regards to time travel stuff. In regards to the banana, honestly, I have no idea what kind of thing happened there. Like, first of all, why exactly does a banana turn into green mush when you microwave it? As I understand it, if you microwave a banana, you're only going to ripen it. Is it going to turn into mush? I don't think so. Why does it turn to mush? I have no idea. So, for that part, all bets are off, right? I was thinking maybe that it had something to do with some kind of temporal, some kind of temporal ability or temporal effect as well. So time is changing or different for that single banana. But I can't really think of a good enough explanation right now. So that is that. And maybe the redhead, I still can't remember her name. Misa something? What's her name again? Makise, right? So this Mikasi girl, I guess she actually understands about these types of teleporting or time travel kind of stuff, because she didn't seem too phased by what just happened, even though my mind was blown at how that banana went back onto its stem. But yeah, I got nothing there. The time travel, the world leaping, I think I got a pretty good grasp on, but this part, I have no idea what happened there. And what else to talk about this episode? The characters, not really much to say for right now. I will say that they all are interesting in their own way. So that's a plus, and I do really like all of their designs as well. That's definitely one of the strong points. So yeah, you know, looking at it just from a basic anime perspective, right? I am enjoying it so far, even though not really much has been said yet. I do like the character designs, I do like the animation, I love the music, and I love the kind of drawing effects that they do. It's actually been quite some time since I watched one, which I guess it's using more old school type of animation, if you will, you know, including the lighting effects and whatnot, but, you know, it does give me a nostalgia trip, so I do enjoy that. So, I think that's about all I have for this episode as it is. Since this is basically an older series, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it already. Please don't spoil me on what's going to happen. I still want to look at that myself. Although, I guess you can tell me if my theories are on the right track or they're completely rubbish and completely wrong. You know, things like that. I enjoy feedback of that kind of nature. Or if there's any Easter eggs or whatnot that I didn't notice, right? So I did get a few references from this episode, including, you know, the Iiari from Phoenix Wright, and also is it called Ace Attorney in the West or something, and also the Luis reference from Zero no Tsukaima, right? So I think I got those two references. If there's any other references that I missed, do let me know. And as I said before, I'm doing this series because I already finished Yojusenki, so it's probably going to occupy the same time slot as that one. So probably I'll be uploading episodes of this on Tuesday and Friday, and anytime when I'm unable to do my normal schedule, I will probably pre-record these episodes and put them out. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this so far. Definitely an intriguing anime, and I do think that it's probably going to pick up more and more as it goes on, right? Because, you know, ever since I watched Madoka, I'm never fazed by slow starts anymore. It's especially considering a series as acclaimed as this, I definitely feel like it's just about, you know, it's only going to get crazier and crazier. So, anyways, I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. This is Maverick signing off. Bye-bye.